From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big midday. It's a big home of Home LALATE, live and direct from Santa Monica, California, with your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. In this incredible recon update of 2022, we go over that provision, the Build Back Better Act, and the vote with another body of legislation happening today that could potentially make the passage of your fourth stimulus checks easier across the board. I have the latest details live and direct at home. Then we'll go over the Senate checks that are robust and across the board, but more checks being added in there. In addition to that push to add in there an MSC, $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for everyone, including adult dependents and SSI and SSDI programs that so far in that incredible recon staying in there. At least $15,000 of checks, upwards of $60,000 coming up in this recording. Stay to the very end. Then we got $45,000 of checks across the board under third stimulus, repeated under fourth stimulus. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest update about that. Your COLA benefits, your inflation, your inflationary concerns, and the inflationary price tag targets for the rest of this year. I'm going to go over that in later part of this recording. But you know what Home LALATE is about. It is about your home, about your beauty, about your food, about your stomach, about your desires. And this recording, we go over your teeth. We go over your teeth with this thing. What is this thing? I don't know. Is this something that I whistle into to summon Sirloin to the set? People have been asking, how do you get your teeth so white, Alec? What do you do with your teeth? What is it? I'll go over how to get you deliciousness, beautifully white teeth for pennies on the dollar. I'll show you how to get it and how to keep it, whether you're a coffee drinker or not a coffee drinker. All those details and more coming up as Home LALATE gets underway, directed from Santa Monica, California, starting right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And here we go. Your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. So many details across the board. And in this recording, we're going to go over all those incredible details with that MSC. We're going to start on the House side, then head to the Senate side. And here we go, starting right now. There is a lot of checks at issue, and the student loan debt forgiveness is one of them. We'll be covering in this recording, and fifth stimulus, the latest details on that. Plus, we'll be turning back to third stimulus. But we're going to start with the exciting details of fourth stimulus, your fourth stimulus check updated 2022, with the more checks that the senators would add in there, including that MSC on top of the existing checks of $15,000. Those details and more coming up in this recording. Plus, as you know what home is about, the second half of this recording is about something else. We first go over your stimulus update, and then we go into a different topic. Today is how to get beautiful, wonderfully white teeth. And so go under this video and subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. You're watching LALATE, America's #3 most watched financial news channel in America. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes. And consider becoming a member of Purple Hawk Pearl Power Casino VIP so you get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which is totally free under the link to the subscription of this video. Let's go into the incredible money that is in this recon, starting with the three clusters of checks and three add-ons. We're going to go over each of them starting right now, but there's at least $15,000 of checks in this incredible recon, upwards of $60,000 before we get even to that MSC. What are they? Get your pen and paper ready. Here we go. Cluster number one got in there. Hazard pay for one more year. The earned income tax credit for the essential workers. Wow. Then they got $4,000 of elder care, $4,000 of care for young children, $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Got it in there. They got the CTC, $3,600 for young children. Checks in there additionally as well. $550 check for the Pell Grant. And then money to repair your home. Free money in this first cluster. The second add-on of checks comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters, $25,000 for the purchase of your first home. Wow. Let's go to the second cluster of checks. We're zooming through here. Paid leave and home repairs. So the home repairs is to weatherize your home. The paid leave is a lot of money. How much is it? $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. If you make $35,000 or more per year, that's $800 a week. $15,000 annual salary, that is $400 a week, up to 4 weeks per year. If you don't work, but your son or daughter does and takes off to work once a week to take you to the doctor, they're going to get the check for the household. Wow. Let's go to the second add-on of checks, and wow, it's incredible. It comes from Bob Casey, $250 billion for free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities, which brings us to the third of three clusters of checks. Here we go. Seniors and free internet. What is in this third cluster? A lot of deliciousness. So in that third cluster, we have in there the free internet, the money for the farmers, the money for the independent contractors, cheaper prescription medication, free skill mills for all checks. Then they got in there 2 benefits from the seniors on the House and 3 coming on the Senate side. On the House side, for the seniors, they got in there the lowering the eligibility, the Medicaid gap fix, and the hearing. But on the Senate side, they're going to do dental, vision, and lowering the Medicare eligibility age, which is par for the course of what we're talking about when we talk about MSC, the third add-on. With MSC, we're going to go over what it is, who gets it, how much as it is, and when and how the vote is happening. First, let's go over what MSC is. It stands for monthly or multiple IRS stimulus check. It's different than everything else that's in the recon, aka the social spending bill or the Build Back Better Act, because that has multiple checks in there. This, however, is its own instrument that sends out a check from IRS on a monthly basis. Hence, MSC, monthly IRS stimulus check. All right, that's what it is. Next, let's go over who gets it. Back in the month of May, the senators told thousands of viewers who would get it, and they continue to give the messages across the board. Their messaging is very clear. If you got a third stimulus check, you get it a fourth one as well. So who is this? Let's go over the details starting right now. Single individuals, $75,000 or less annual income, you get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, double it, you get it as well. If you're on a family of 4, you get it additionally, quadruple it. Then, if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you get it as well. Then let's go over some nuances. It's not income. It's not taxable. It is offered nationwide. It's not offered for certain states. It's a federal program, so it doesn't matter what state you're in. It comes from the federal government. It doesn't come from your state. Then, what's important to understand is it's in addition to the checks that are also already in the recon. All right, then let's go over the amount. The legislators have told viewers of this channel, tens of thousands of viewers of this channel, the following amount. Here we go. $2,000 the first month. $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. Joe Biden is ready to do your first stimulus recon. He's ready to deliver the bacon to you. In the second half of this video, stay with me. I have a lot coming up, but we're going to go over the new quote from Joe Biden, who says he's ready to send out the money for this recon. Wow, incredible. It's a new quote in the last 24 hours. But let's go over where we are in this recon so that you understand where we are with the MSC. We can go over where we are, then the vote, then the nuances, and more, starting right now. First, where are we? We are currently in the Senate, having passed the Build Back Better Act, which is where this money is in the House in the month of November. Now that we're in the Senate, we're in a holding mode. Let me describe the holding mode. It's sort of like the Monaco Grand Prix. A Grand Prix is where cars race through a town. And Monaco is a town on the south, near the south of France and the Italian border. It's as though you're in the Monaco Grand Prix as a driver, and then suddenly the announcer goes on air and goes on the intercom and says, pull over to the side of the road. Excuse me? We're having a croissant break. A croissant break? Who has a croissant break during the Monaco Grand Prix? Something unexpected, sort of what's going on with that recon. They have pulled over to the side of the road. Now, why do I use an example? For many reasons. One, the race is not over. It's not over, number one. Number two, it hasn't been canceled. Number three, we're not going in reverse. We're just on the side of the road. So what's important to understand is that they pulled over. Once they restart our engines, what's going to happen? The announcer goes on the intercom, says, restart your engines. Then they have to go into the Senate subcommittees and make the modifications to the legislation. They never did that yet. So the senators have a lot of stuff to add in there. Bernie Sanders, Liz Warren, Chuck Schumer, Ron Wyden have all said they want to add provisions across the board. They never got to that moment. That moment will happen. It hasn't happened in time yet. That's number one. Number two, all the incredible provisions of the recall that covered in this video and covered in the videos of this channel are provisions for the Build Back Better Act that was passed in the House of Representatives this is part of the provisions, this is not all of them, passed in November and December. Those provisions from 2021 are still in there. They're likely not to get removed. They're likely to get enhanced. So if you're looking at the recon saying it's a 2022 recon, it's really not. It's a 2021 recon that'll get enhanced in 2022. So you need to know everything that's in 2021 because that is the meat and potatoes, and they may add extra gravy on top of it in 2022. Number three, let's go over what happens when they say restart your engines. So we're in the subcommittee. Subcommittees will then modify the provisions from 2021, add some gravy on it, make it bigger, make it bold, or put in MSCs in there they represent and do a lot of other things. And then they call for the vote on the Senate floor. Okay, then what? Then the vote happens on the Senate floor, then they do the vote-a-rama across the board. And there you go. Now, it's important for you to advocate. But advocacy now in January 2022 looks different. Why? Because they don't have this teed up for a bill or for a vote in the next 24 hours. So you need to pick up the phone and call once a week, not every day, to those senators because they need to be in the loop to understand it. You need to still need that money. If you remember who you spoke to at a particular senator's office, maybe a staffer, you know their persons by name, write it down and call back and give them an update once a week saying, I still need it. This is what you want to do. Say why you need it, why your family needs it, community needs it, family needs it across the board. Pick up the phone and advocate. Who are those people you want to advocate to? Let me show you the graphic for those senators you want to advocate to for provisions in this incredible recon. You want to advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer, and tell them why you need it. In the second half of this video, I'll explain to you why there's a likelihood to potentially have a check added to another body of legislation this week. Wow. It's coming up later in this video. Stay with me. We have a lot coming up. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Now, when you advocate, it's important to know the following thing. Tell them why you need it. And categorically do not ask, is it in there? Why? Because the there doesn't exist. If you're on the front porch and your neighbor's son says, it's not in there, LALATE doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not in there. The response to that neighbor is, the there doesn't exist. Is there a Senate bill? There is not. Have they drafted the Senate bill? They have not. Have they finished the Senate bill? They have not. All they have is a House body of legislation land in the Senate. Senators don't care. They need to do their version of it, and they haven't done it yet. And that doesn't mean they don't care. It doesn't mean they don't want it. It doesn't mean they're dragging their feet. It means there's a lot of twists and turns that are happening. And among those twists and turns are happening later today. On Afternoons LALATE at 3 o'clock, it's a brand new show today, and Evenings LALATE at 5 o'clock, brand new show as well. We're going to go over a major Senate vote happening today. And that major Senate vote could make it easier to pass the Fourth Stimulus recall. It's coming up in the second half of this video. But also coming in the second half of this video is the indication that potentially we could have a check added to another body of legislation as early as today. Wow. Then we're going to go over the incredible details of the push from the White House in the last 24 hours, signaling that the fourth stimulus recon is happening. It's coming up in the second half of this video. Plus, we'll be looking at the wonders of this thing. What is this thing? As you know what home is about. Home is about food and decor and beauty and everything else. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over how to have beautifully white teeth on pennies on the dollar. It's coming up in the second half of this video. Stay with me as we go over the surprise of a potential stimulus check and a possible ancillary piece of legislation. Could it happen? I have those details and more, plus beautiful white teeth. They go hand in hand. Those details and more coming up in the second half of this video. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Home LALATE continues. But first, here is a little bit about the community page.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now in the second half as Home LALATE continues. As you know what Home LALATE is about, the first half is about your recon, and the second half is about the home. But we got a lot more still to go over on stimulus we're going to go over right now before we get into the home. The White House issued a statement in the last 48 hours saying the recon is happening. This is huge. We're going to stay with the White House in the next few days. On Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock today, I'll be talking about the importance of the statement from the White House. But let me just give you the overview of the statement from Andrew Bates, which says that the president is committed to getting the forced stimulus recon, the Build Back Better Act, done and passed. So this is huge. You want the number one guy in the United States who determines policy, the President of the United States, to be behind the legislation. He says it's going to happen. So in tonight's Afternoons LALATE and Evenings LALATE, I'll analyze to you what the quote means, but here's what you need to know. Is this going to be happening? Meantime, what are you going to see throughout today? At 3 o'clock in Afternoons LALATE, a brand new show in which we talk about the major vote happening today in the Senate, and then 5 o'clock we may have the result of the vote by the time that show airs. What is this vote? The Senate is calling up a vote today of one body of legislation that's going to be blocked, and then pivoting to another body of legislation to try to get it passed to help your recon. That sounds confusing, doesn't it? It's very confusing. Let me explain what's going on. They are using one body of legislation and Republicans blocking it as a way to get another body of legislation passed that'll make future legislation, like a forced stimulus recon, easier to pass. Okay, that's a little simpler. So what's going on? Last Friday, the House of Representatives passed a voting rights initiative. That voting rights initiative sent to the Senate. They're going to call the vote in the Senate today, Chuck Schumer, for that voting rights initiative. It's going to be blocked by the Republicans. This is the game plan. This is all scripted out. This is all strategized out. When it's blocked, then Chuck Schumer is going to call the vote to modify the Senate rules. It's a pivot. It's a pivot. He's using one problem with one bill to pivot to do something that he really wants to do that's much more important. Pivot to then change the Senate rules. Very, very fascinating. If it happens, if the Senate rules are changed, that pivot, which could happen as early as today or potentially into tomorrow, then how does that impact your wallet? It would make the forced stimulus recon easier to pass. Wow. That is huge. Now, something you're hearing for the first time on noontime today, home, is the following. The potential of putting in a stimulus check in either of these bodies of legislation calling for a vote today or tomorrow. There's always the possibility. It's not in there yet, but there's always that possibility. You've seen that. You've watched it. We've done it as a family. We've succeeded as a family doing this for over a year. In December 2020, Americans and viewers of this channel were tired of Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin going back and forth about the second stimulus package, her negotiating for more money for state and local, him saying, no, I'm not going to give it, back and forth and back and forth. We had enough, and I had enough, and I said, you know what, just put a stimulus check in the continuing resolution for the budget of how we run the federal government. People looked at me and said, excuse me, that's the money for the running the federal government. Running the federal government has nothing to do with the American people. The reason why I said it at the time, because you and I know how these bills work. You have a bill about chapstick, about deliciously moist lips, and you would think the bill is all about your lips. And then suddenly someone puts something in the bill about your teeth. And it's like, wait a second. Why is there something about your teeth in the bill about your lips? Because that's what Congress has always done. Lip service. They've always done that. They've always inserted stuff into bills that don't belong there. So, a voting rights bill happening today in the Senate. Could they add a stimulus check in there? They could. The Senate rules, that will be its own bill today and tomorrow. Could they add a stimulus check in there? They could. Have they done it yet? They have not. Could they still do it? Absolutely. So if you're on social media, you want to push, put it in there. Now, they ain't going to put, $85,000 of stimulus checks in there, but they can certainly slide a check in there. In December 2020, we saw on Twitter how there was 2 days in which Twitter was just enraged when they found out that a COVID relief bill had all this money for foreign countries, foreign governments. I was like, why is this in there? And we're sitting back laughing like, they always did this. They've always done that. They always insert stuff in that doesn't belong in there. So voting rights and a stimulus check, they don't belong together, but they can certainly put it in there. And with that, that's coming up in the second half. That's coming up later today on Afternoons LA. And now with that, let's turn and pivot to something else that people have been asking about. Not only how to get your stimulus check, but also how to get some beautifully white teeth. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over how to get that beautiful white teeth. It's home LA. You know what we cover. We cover food, we cover deliciousness, we cover cooking, and we also cover health and beauty. And in today's recording, we're going to go over how to get beautifully white teeth. A lot of people have been asking me, 3 weeks in the hospital, you're out, and suddenly your teeth are so white. Well, I was brushing my teeth in the hospital as well. Let me go over with you. What are the tricks of the trade to get really white teeth and do it for pennies on the dollar? Let me give you a backdrop. I like coffee. I drink coffee. I drink more than 1 cup of coffee per day. So if you are a person who thinks that your teeth are stained because you do certain things, I'm doing the same stuff you're doing, Hannah. So we're in the same boat together. These things work. Now, here's a disclaimer. You do not see the production studio on the front side. You see the back side. You see the set. You see the backdrop. You don't see the lighting. This is a television broadcast quality production studio. So because of that, there's lots of lights shining on my face. And because there's so many lights, it's making my teeth look lighter. So I'm going to give you full disclaimer. My teeth aren't this light in real life. It's because there's an enormous amount of light hitting me from many different angles in the studio. And some of the light is colored, some of the light is off hue, some of it's muddled, muddle blue. No, not muddle blue, but it's muddle. And that's a full disclaimer. So let me just tell you, these teeth are a little bit lighter than they are in real life because of the lighting. All right, so let's go over how you do this. First, very basic, but it sounds ironic. The type of toothpaste you start with is very important. I've used a lot of different ones over the many, many years, and I've done a lot of different equations. I used to use Arm & Hammer baking powder just out of the box, which is like 55 cents. And it's a little rough, but it works wonders. Until somewhere along the way, maybe they've had it for a while, but I just found it recently, Arm & Hammer Advanced White. Let me bring it close to the camera. Arm & Hammer Advanced White. You can buy it from Walmart or Amazon. It's very, very, very cheap. I know some toothpaste is very expensive out there, $5, $6, $7. I remember this was relatively cheap. It actually says under the name Advanced Extreme Whitening. They're not joking. The first time you use it, you're going to see an immediate impact. It really works well. If you're a person who likes toothpaste that has flavors and just tastes like $12 ice cream, this is not the one for you. It is not, you're not having to dessert it with this one. It's not to say it tastes bad. It's fine, but it works incredibly when you first try it. Again, it's called Arm& Hammer Advanced White Extreme Whitening. Remember, I'm not getting paid for any of these products. These are not product promotions across the board. All right, so that's to start. Next, what do I do after that? I have tried a lot of things out there. I've tried the strips. You know those they feel like Scotch tape you put on your teeth. It's like, is there tape on my teeth? Yeah, I tried those things for many years. They just don't really work. Then there was some other stuff that they had popular like 10 years ago. I tried that as well. Until one day I went into a store here in Southern California, and they got these stores all across the country, and they had one of those machines where, they put a little tray in your mouth and they turn on a light, and then, you're done in like 15 minutes. And it was okay. It was all right. It doesn't last very long. But during that process, after they were done, part of the package, part of the thing you bought, they gave me this thing. And I'm like, here, let me get it closer on camera. I said, what is this thing? It's a pencil. And I never thought of the concept of a pencil being far more effective with teeth than anywhere else. This is for when you go home, just sort of touch it up yourself. Now, here's what I want you to know. There are pencils on all the platforms, Amazon, Walmart. Some of the pencils are very, very cheap. Some of them are expensive. Go for the cheap one. Go for the cheap one. I know some of the pencils are $50. Some of the pencils are $5. So just go for the cheaper one. Let me open it up for you so you see what it looks like. So here it is. I took the top off. Here it is. It looks like a glue pencil, sort of, doesn't it? It is a liquid at the tip. The tip is that top at that point. And what you basically do is you use it and basically apply it to your teeth. Then wait a little while and then rinse. Boy, it really works. It insanely works. It's the simplest concept you've ever heard in your life. Using a pencil that has a solution at the end, high into teeth, waiting, and then rinsing, it insanely works. And no one owns, apparently, the patch or the copyright or the trademark to it, because there's a lot of different companies that all have it. Now, here is, it's dripping a little bit. Sorry. Here is a way to take it up a notch. They have those little plastic trays, that you put in your mouth. If you can get one of those plastic trays, they're like 10 cents at your local pharmacy or whatever. Put that tray on after you do this. So first, paint your teeth. It's like you're doing a Picasso painting. Paint your teeth. I'm going out of focus there. You guys see my teeth. Come on back into focus, Mr. Camera. Let me do it this way. No, there you go. So first, paint your teeth. Then put that little tray in there. If you can get that tray, that little rubber tray. It looks like a retainer. Put it in there. And just wait like 15 minutes. And you're done. How often do I do this? Very rarely. I haven't done it in months. I haven't done many, 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 many months. Now, there was a time, I think it was in maybe, I think when this channel started. Because when this channel first started, I wanted to look good. I wanted to make sure that I looked presentable and all this. I think I did it maybe once a week, maybe when this channel started. I haven't done it in many, many months. But if you're ahead of the ball, then you're good. This pencil and the tray is a godsend. It's a godsend. You couple it with the toothpaste, you are ready to rock and roll. I mean, you will never, ever, ever have anything, any colorization. The great thing about the pencil is exactly what you think. It's a pencil. And so if you are applying it to a tooth and you're looking at the tooth, you're like, the tooth looks really wide at the bottom, but the top, it looks a little bit less wide. You're focusing. You're looking right at the tooth. You're applying it, and as you apply it, you'll pay extra attention to say, maybe up a little bit more more of the solution up there because it's a little bit more discolored, and it works. It's as simple as that. Because it is a pencil, and because you're focusing exactly on a spot. You saw how narrow the tip is. You get it. You get that spot right across the board. There you go. Then Here's something I got in the mail about 2 days ago. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to show you what this one's called. So this one again, this is not a product promotion. I'm not getting paid for any of these products. Am I out of focus? Let me pull it back a little bit more. There we go. This one is called 5-minute whitening system. So, what is the concept of this one? This is where you're putting a cream into one of those retainer trays and then putting it on your teeth and just waiting for 5 minutes. Interesting. Um, I haven't tried it. I'm interested to see it. Very cheap. I think it was $5. I think it's $5 on Amazon. 3 easy steps: rinse and wipe. Prepare your teeth. Squeeze the solution into the holder, insert in the mouth. Now, the reason why I got this one, which I think was $1 more than something else, the other one was $5, was that this one actually has the little retainer in there. That retainer is very important. Why? It's important for the pen. It's important for this one because when you put this thing on there, you want to keep the solution away from the rest of the mouth for 15 minutes. So, you want to be like this for 15 minutes. And it's like, if someone calls, don't answer the phone. It's like, hey, is that Joe Manchin outside? I don't know that Joe Manchin outside. I have something in my mouth. I can't talk for 15 minutes. Hey, Sir Lloyd, how are you? Oh, good. Javita wants to raise. I can't talk to her. It's a good way to train to become a ventriloquist, because you can't move your lips. Have you ever been a ventriloquist? I've never been a ventriloquist. I've never been a ventriloquist. Let's go in the light chat and see who's in the light chat, because I can't move my teeth in either as well. You knew that I was going to go somewhere with this. You knew there was going to be a comedy moment in this. So you cannot move your teeth. Who's in the live chat? There's Sandy. Hi, Sandy. How are you? There's John. There's Diane. There's Arthur. There's Lorraine. There's Malvika. There's Ian. Ian, don't move your teeth. Don't move your teeth, Ian. You got to keep those teeth still, because when you got the stuff on there, you can't move your lips. Can you do your teeth? That's the concept. Now, you had the tray in there. You don't have to struggle to keep your face frozen like I am. It's just, you can relax your face. Oh, relax the face. So, you don't have to freeze your face into a position. Oh, that was exhausting. So there you go. Melissa says, I have to do this because I drink a lot of coffee. Absolutely. And once you do this 1 or 2 times, you're caught up. You'll never have to worry. You won't have to do this every week. You won't have to do this every month. Once you get caught up, you're fine. Ventriloquist doll. What's just new? Just started watching. What's the latest update? The latest update is we all got bigger, whiter teeth. What I miss? Whiter teeth is what you just missed. Bob Bacon, just like politicians, they talk through their teeth. I love that, Bob. Oh my goodness. Kathy, I drink like 2 pots of coffee a day. Yeah, this works. This absolutely works. You know why it works is because, first, this gets anything off the surfaces. So if you just join me, this is Home LA. The first half of the video is always about your stimulus, and the second half is about home and home decor and family and food and all that wonderfulness. And we started with Advanced Whitening Arm & Hammer. That's extreme whitening. It's $3 to $4 on Amazon. You start with this and use this on a daily basis or multiple times per day to clean your teeth. It really, really works. It'll take you up a notch. Then you want to default to the pencil. And there's a lot of different pencils on different platforms. Go for the cheaper one. I know there are pencils that are $50. You don't need the $50 pencil. This one was part of a package at a store where I was at, but I know there are pencils as low as maybe $10, maybe $15. Then this is something I got $7 in just the last 2 days. I want to try it out. The concept for this is, again, a tray and a cream. So the cream is in the tray. Why do I like this? Because I already told you, you want a tray for the pencil. You want to put the pencil on, put a tray in there, keep your mouth shut, and don't talk for 5 minutes. Sort of like what you want to say to Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin, can you just stop talking? Just put it in there, just stop talking. Joe Manchin, can you just stop talking? We want to pass the recon. So can you just zip it for 10 minutes? Can you go fix your teeth? Go fix your teeth. Do you take them out to pencil? Yeah, so Bob Bacon. So what you want to do with the pencil, Bob, is you want to literally paint the teeth. You're painting the teeth like it's a crayon. Why is Crayola not in here? It's like a Crayola crown. You want to paint the teeth, put the retainer in there, close the mouth, wait for 15 minutes, take it out, brush, you're done. Very, very simple. Don't have to do it that often. The toothpaste, you want to do it multiple times a day, or at least one time a day. And then the pencil, you'll see like, I look really good now. You'll say, I look really good. LA has put me ahead of the ball game. I don't have to do this all the time. There's Georgia. Hey, Georgia, how are you? You can lighten your hair without hydrogen peroxide. Sandy's talking about using the teeth stuff on your hair. I don't know. I don't know. No, I would recommend against using the Arm& Hammer toothpaste on your hair. That just that doesn't it just doesn't sound right. I don't know why. It just doesn't sound right. Bobby said something funny. I can't see what it was. Do you take them out to pencil? If you watched one of the shows the other day, I think it was the day before, or maybe it was 2 days ago. There was a feud in the chat. Did you see it? Did you see it? There was a feud in the chat. Someone said, "Ellen, how do you make your teeth so white?" And I talked about this for like 2 words, and then someone said to someone else, to the other viewer. One viewer said to another viewer, "You don't floss." I guess that's really disrespectful. You don't floss. And the other viewer said, "Who says I don't floss?" And then there was a floss feud. There was a floss feud. Did you see? I think you saw it. It was a strangest feud, and these are viewers that liked each other. And they were in a flossing feud on the live chat. I don't know where that came from across the board. There's Adrian. How are you? There's Bob. Bob said something funny again, and I missed it. And Sandy says this won't work. I never stop talking. So if you have a significant other that just talks too much, tell them to go do this, and you'll get 15 minutes a day where they just stop talking because they cannot talk when it's in their mouth. That's the benefit of getting your significant other to fix their teeth. It'll give them 15 minutes to zip it. Very, very effective across the board. Coming up later today is a lot of, if you have more comments, keep on dropping them in the live chat. I'm watching the live chat. I'll jump back in there. Let me give you a programming note for later today. So afternoons LA coming up at 1 o'clock. This video will automatically take you there. The 3 o'clock afternoons LA is brand new. It was taped earlier today before that Senate vote. That's coming up at 3 o'clock. It's brand new. It'll go over these checks, the ability to add more checks into this legislation this week. And then the 5 o'clock Evenings LA show will also be brand new. It will be taped potentially after the Senate vote. I don't know. I'll be telling you if the Senate vote happens by the time that show airs. Evenings LA now has a whole slate of programming, and you're loving it, and I'm loving doing it. Evenings LA, brand new at 5 o'clock daily. 6 o'clock is Evenings Countdown. 7 o'clock is an encore performance of this show, which is called, on evenings, Home Stream Stimulus. Instead of just home, it's Home Stream Stimulus. 8 o'clock is Evenings Extra. And then we go into our 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11:30 shows called Overnights LA. We're back in the morning with Sunrise LA at 3 and 3:30. People are loving that. Wow, did you see the viewership on Sunrise LA today? It was insane. Then we go into Early Mornings LA at 4 o'clock and Mornings Countdown at 7 before I come back on air with you on Mornings LA at 9 a.m. Sirloin and Javita will be returning shortly. They're on vacation. Let me jump back in the live chat. There's Tammy. Happy to see you looking better. Thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate that. Then there's Beverly. Hey, Beverly, how are you? Charles. And how are you, Charles? There is Sandy. She's still laughing. Sandy's going to give someone this to tell them to zip it for stop talking too much. Laquita. Hey, Laquita, how are you? There's Michael Scott. So let me go over Michael's comment, which I think I talked about a little bit earlier, just in general, but I want to talk about it right now. Congress doesn't care. Michael Scott's comment is, government doesn't care about the working class people. Only thing they care about is their own seat in the Senate. There's good and bad with all these senators. There's good and bad with every House of members. A lot of these people are lifetime politicians. I'm not going to disagree with that as well. But what I want you to know is that when we're talking about the fourth stimulus recon, It's important to understand that it takes a lot of steps to get it to law. And the steps are made more difficult by the fact that they do not have a clear majority of Democratic senators. And it makes it even more difficult when two of your Democratic senators pivot on the every 10 seconds. So it just makes things difficult, and doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't care of those senators. Doesn't mean that they're dragging their feet or they don't want to help people. It means that it's just sort of complicated. Now, as those two senators that are causing people problems, yeah, they may not care. But that's up to you to decide ultimately what your opinion is of Joe Manchin or Kristen Sinema. But why I'm here is to show you how it gets done and where it gets done, because it will get done. As the President of the United States says, it will get done across the board. There's Wendy. Hey, how are you, Wendy? Adrian Norris, just use whiteout on the false teeth. Oh. There's Charlene. There's Kathy. Oh, we have a new member that just joined the chat. Welcome that new member, who is Shalaya. Became a Purple Hawk. Wow, Shalaya. Welcome to the family, Shalaya, of becoming a new member. Carla. Hey, how are you, Carla? There is Wendy Simmons. I think I forgot to send out the newsletter yesterday. I can't remember if I did or didn't. No worries either way. It's going to go out tonight at 7 o'clock. So if anyone is looking for it across the board, so sorry. I think his hat rocks. Well, thank you, Beverly. I appreciate that. But do my teeth rock? That's what this video is about. And with that, so many things across the board. Shalaya, wow, I could have shut up my ex for under $20 rather than spending $1,000 on divorce. That's hysterical. Shalaya with the best comment of the day. Let's read it again. Wow, I could have shut up my ex for under $20 with a home whitening kit. Put it in their mouth and just tell them to zip it, rather than spending money on a divorce. I love that. That is hysterical. And there's Bob Bacon with the jokes. So you can use that pencil to whiten your teeth, and you can white wall your tires thereafter. No. But I appreciate the thought. I don't want to put something on for my tires in my teeth, or in my tires into my teeth, or tires to my teeth. Tammy, maybe LA, you could put down a purple post-it note path for Congress to follow to get it done. Yeah, there was a time in 2020 where someone actually said in one of the chats, I'll fly you to Congress. I'll fly you to Washington, D.C. to talk to these people and figure out and tell them to get it done. I don't know. I forgot what that viewer's name was, but yeah, that offer is always there across the board. I can't fly right now, but yeah, that offer is always across the board. We talked about this last year when, remember the Duchess of, I always forget which Duchess she is. Prince Harry's wife. I always forget which Duchess she is of, but she was calling all the senators about paid leave. And I'm like, that's great. But how about all the other provisions of the Fourth Civil Recon? And when did she become and then they ran her advocacy, which is great. It was like, hey, can you run our advocacy as a news story? But it was great. And everyone covered her advocacy. Hey, Ally, beautiful day in Paris, Texas. Sherry Tingen. What part of Texas is Paris? I got to look it up. I don't know what part of that is. Coming up next is the 1 o'clock afternoons LA. And then we have a brand new afternoons LA at 3. Then we have a brand new evenings LA at 5, evenings LA. Then we have evenings countdown, home street and stimulus at 7, evenings extra at 8 o'clock, and then we go over to our overnight shows as well. And with that, I want you to subscribe. 400,000 subscribers to YouTube record. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Thank you for all the incredible comments during the live chat. Join us daily and join us live on mornings and at noontime. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next on Afternoons LA.